Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and people ask me all the time, Patrouski, what is an Iron Man account within PokeMMO? And the really quick and simple answer, if you're looking for that, is the Iron Man account is just an account that cannot trade nor use the GTL. If you don't know, it is inspired by the old school RuneScape Iron Man account of the same variety, and I think that was inspired by old SSF accounts, which is solo self-found, which stems back to as far back as Diablo 2, if I recall, from what I've heard from others in the gaming sphere, as well as is a term used in Path of Exile up to this day. So it's a pretty old style of account, an old style of restriction to restrict in an MMO or a multiplayer game, to restrict yourself to not trading or using the market in any way. And it really does change the way you have to grind for resources and do certain things in the game. I'm not going to go into great detail today about that. I do have a video called Why I Love the Iron Man account and why you should try out an Iron Man account if you are interested. Hopefully that should be linked in the description. If it is not, you can call me Stinky in the comments. But today I'm going to go through the actual rules of the Iron Man account, because there are some unique stipulations or things you might not think about aside from just the no trading or GTL usage. So first things first, rule number one, no trading or GTL usage at all. This also means no trade evolutions and no alt accounts to use for storage. I've had people ask me that, like, oh, can I use an alt account and then like transfer things between the account boxes? Like, no, that goes against the restriction in my opinion. Let me also qualify by saying that these are just my Iron Man rules. There are no one Iron Man rules fits all. This is a literal self-imposed challenge account. If you want to have an Iron Man account where you can access the GTL and you can do some trading behind some other restriction, that's fine. That's actually awesome. That's the whole point. I do recommend using a different name, maybe like Iron Man, that allows some trading, or people use the word like Copper Man or Steel Man, you know? I think it's really good to play PokeMMO in whatever way you like, and then just try to be honest and tell people, hey, this is how I'm playing the game, these are my restrictions, that's all this is. But these are the rules that I play my Iron Man with. I think that these are probably the most widespread Iron Man rules, since I was lucky enough to popularize the format, although I did not create the game mode, right? Next up, rule number two, very, very important. No credit card swiping and or buying RP with real world dollars. This is extremely important. The whole point of the Iron Man account is that we are on the same playing field, right? I love PokeMMO. I don't think the game is pay to win. That's a whole different discussion, but I do think the game has some paid for advantage elements, the same way most MMOs do. In old school RuneScape, you can buy bonds and sell that for gold. In World of Warcraft, you can buy the WoW token and sell that for gold. In old school RuneScape, you can sell the RP vouchers and sell that for Pokeyen. It is what it is. It's kind of one of those modern evil necessities of modern MMO games, right? But the beautiful part of the Iron Man account is we can actually skirt around that, get around that. Nobody has any sort of IRL advantage. Nobody has any sort of sway on that. I really like it. I'm not trying to talk shit about or like shit on people. If you work really hard and you come home and you only have a few hours to play PokeMMO, there's nothing wrong with credit card swiping. Hell, you're supporting the devs. You're supporting the game that I love so very much. But at the same time, I love playing video games because video games are one of the most fair playing fields we'll ever be given in life, right? Your economic status does not matter as much in video games as it does in the real world. And as someone who grew up extremely poor, video games were one of the most fair playing fields I was ever given. And I could prove myself and work really hard and grind really hard and still reach end game and still be very good in video games because of just hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, right? So I always love that element. I think Iron Man really brings that back. Next up, no unofficial events. The reason this is such a great question people ask, the reason this has to be a rule is because unfortunately you could abuse this way too easily. If you don't know, unofficial events are just events hosted by other players in the game. You'll find them on the unofficial events forum page on the PokeMMO official forums. But the problem here, and they'll give away certain prizes like old vanities, which is really cool. I love the idea of being able to play an Iron Man account and be able to win like something like an old vanity. Let's say like the snow globe hat, for example. Let's see if I can find that really quick. Snow globe. Like this came out in 2020. It would be really cool if we had some weird, wacky way to earn these rarely on the Iron Man account. The problem with unofficial events is they're too abusable. You could just host an unofficial event on your main account, your non-Iron Man account, and then be like, all right, the whole event is the first person to trade me wins a snow globe hat, and then just hop on your Iron Man account and go trade you. So unfortunately, there's just no way to track this. There's no way to have proper restrictions and proper regulations. Unofficial events are too abusable, and people would potentially use them to just give their Iron Man whatever resources they want. So unfortunately, unofficial events do have to be banned, although official events are totally fine. We'll get to that here in a quick sec, actually. Rule number 4, no joining non-Iron Man charm links. This was actually, you know, up for debate for a long time, and all of these rules are honestly up for debate. Once again, play how you want to. These are just my personal rules. The problem with it's similar to the unofficial events. The problem with joining your friends' shiny charm links as an Iron Man account, if you're just joining your friends' links, it's kind of fine. You are getting a advantage over other Iron Men, but it's like a 5% shiny boost. I actually don't even mind that personally. That's no skin off my back. Right? If you play an Iron Man account and you want to join shiny charms with your friends, I say go for it. I honestly, it's not I mean, should I say go for it? I don't do that personally, but if you want to, I wouldn't blame you, right? The problem with allowing non-Iron Man charm links is that you could abuse it similar to the unofficial events. If I sit on my main account and I pop shiny charms 24/7 and just always have my Iron Man in the link, that's the problem, right? The problem is that someone could basically pay to win, and they could use their main account to permanently have shiny charm boost on their Iron Man account, and that is against the spirit of the game mode. The spirit of the game mode is everybody to be kind of on the same playing field as much as possible, and I think it's a really beautiful thing to try to aim for that in a modern MMO era. So that's why that has to be a rule. Rule number 5, have fun. That's it. I know it's all these restrictions. Oh, you can't do this. I hate telling people what you can and can't do. Really, at the end of the day, do whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you how to play PokeMMO. I am just trying to say my rule sets, right? So have fun. At the end of the day, just be honest about what you're doing. You could play it, once again, do whatever you want on your Iron Man account. Just tell people what you're doing. Just be honest about it. The only real problem that could ever happen is if someone plays an Iron Man account that does allow for credit card swiping and they don't tell people that. Like, that would be kind of lame. That would be a bit of a bummer, right? But also, it's not really it's not the end of the world, right? Now, I do have some bonus notes that are worth talking about. People always ask me, oh, are you allowed to raid with non-Iron Men? Yes, absolutely, because for a few reasons. Number one, in most other games like Path of Exile and Old School RuneScape, you do raid with other main accounts. It's not, the restriction is getting to the end game on an Iron Man account is already hard enough. Like, that is already incredibly hard. You don't need to also restrict yourself to only being able to raid with Iron Men. That's like an extra unnecessary challenge, in my opinion. And on top of that, there just aren't that many Iron Men in the game. There's not enough to really restrict that. On top of, if there's any odd number of Iron Men that's not divisible by 4, well, now people have to like repeat the raids with their Iron Man friends just so they can do them. Do you see what I'm saying? It takes 4 person to do each raid. So let's say you have like 13. This is obviously a wrong number. Let's say you have 13 Iron Men in the whole game, right? Well, that means you have 3 groups of 4 people that can do the raids, and then just 1 odd man out. And now people have to like redo the raid so that he can, like, that feels really lame. And also coordinating the times. People play Iron Man, before work, after work. Some of us are unemployed, Giga Chad, right? We don't need to line up our schedules on the dot perfectly to be able to raid with Iron Man. I think that just becomes too ridiculous, right? Now, I do think it is totally okay. You may join other Iron Man charms with the same rule sets as yourself. So if someone else has like an item magnet charm they got from recent events, or maybe someone worked really hard and for some reason, most Iron Men won't have shiny charms, but if you happen to have like a shiny charm, I like this rule because, number one, it does incorporate Iron Man communication. It does give you a slight advantage, but it's also like, I don't want people to waste their charm links. That's a huge thing as well. Like, we work so hard. I played like 14 hours a day, 12 hours a day during all of the events over this past event season, and here is the charms I ended up with. Like, Iron Men work so hard. We scrape and we crawl just for these, like, just for like a handful of charms. I think it is totally okay if other Iron Men want to share charm slots with other Iron Men. But obviously, if someone was like credit card swiping for shiny charms, that would be a lot different. But if someone's popping one of their 4 richest charms, like one of their 10 richest charms, maybe maximum, and someone else wants to do a trainer rerun while they're doing that, like, that's totally fine, man, in my book, right? And the same is true with like item magnet charm. If Iron Men want to get together and try to like fossil farm together, I think it promotes community. It's very balanced and it promotes community, is the quick TLDR. Next up, all official events are allowed. This includes catch events, this includes PvP events, this includes like hide and seeks, trivia, fashion contests, anything that is hosted by the official events, the staff members of PokeMMO is very allowed, because the way that it works is, I can actually show you, the system mails you. It is not someone trading you the reward. You can actually see here, it is the system. This mail was automatically sent by PokeMMO. I've won a few catch events or placed in a few catch events, as you can see in the past, and this is the way that it works. The system is trading you. It is not another player trading you. These are actually all these mail. Here's another good example, actually, a head game master. All of these are actually when I created my account. Fun fact, when I created my Iron Man account, I asked everybody in my Twitch chat, please mail me blank mails like this to spam me, so that I could get maximum mails, so that other people couldn't send me things, because I was very paranoid that someone would try to like send me Pokemon and like invalidate the challenge. So I was like, you know what, shout out to Steefy, by the way, for doing this so many times. It was literally very helpful. Not this one though, heck, Clarko. But I think it's a funny, like, it's one of those funny Iron Man things. Like, it's not a bad idea, honestly, to fill up your mailbox like this, but most people who aren't streamers, you don't have to worry about someone like maliciously sending you Pokemon, so you're totally fine. As you can see, even though my mailbox is full from other players, I can still get matchmaking rewards, PvP rewards, and the catch event rewards over to my mails. All right, back to the rules. So all official events are allowed. That's one of the coolest things about Iron Man accounts. One of the coolest ways we can get, one of the only ways we can get reward points. So we still can get reward points on the account, which is really cool. It's one of the most valuable resources on the account, but it's very, very difficult for us to get those RP. Next up, now this is the hardest rule to make. This actually, like, I'm honestly, this is the rule that I'm the most torn on, and it does piggyback off of the no trade evolutions. I think it is better to disallow shiny evolution trades. This breaks my heart a little bit. If you are someone who shiny hunts a Haunter and you want a shiny Ghastly, I'm sorry, but I think by my rule set, we have to disallow that. And then same with, like, if you have a shiny Boldore and you really want to evolve it to a Gigalith, I am so sorry. I think it like breaks my heart, dude. At the end of the day, once again, if you want to be an Iron Man that allows trade evolutions for shinies, it's no skin off my back. Just as long as you're communicative about that, it's totally fine. Who cares? It's your journey, right? It's your self-imposed challenge. But personally, the reason why I like restricting this is because this is what makes the Iron Man so beautiful. Because when you make it so that you can't trade evolve Boldore and Gigalith, it makes it so that Gigalith becomes like a rarer shiny hunt, right? On any normal Pokemon account, Boldore is a ×5 horde shiny hunt, and then you just evolve it, right? Gigalith becomes a single encounter shiny hunt, which I think is really interesting. That's the whole point of the Iron Man account, is that it promotes this interesting style of gameplay, and it makes Pokemon valuable for different reasons. Another good example is Conkeldurr becomes a rare shiny. Having a shiny Conkeldurr is one of the biggest flexes on an Iron Man account. It is a 5% spawn. Hunting a shiny Conkeldurr or having a shiny Conkeldurr on an Iron Man account is the equivalent of having a shiny Charizard on a main account. It is that insane, that cool, and that much of a flex. And I think that is so darn interesting. Like, I think that is beautiful. The same is true, I think, with Gengar. Like, Gengar is pretty low. All these mons, people always ask, like, oh, how do you complete the Pokedex with no trade evolutions? Well, fun fact, every trade evolution Pokemon actually has a lore encounter in the wild. So it's harder to complete the Pokedex, but it's possible. And that is what the Iron Man is all about. Putting these extra restrictions. Iron Man accounts are insane because you looked at PokeMMO and you said, this game's not hard enough. This game's not grindy enough. What if I made it harder, right? Which is not how most people feel. But shiny Gengar, for example, is a rare shiny hunt. It's similar to shiny Charizard on a main account. And I think that is really freaking cool. Whereas on a main account, you would just ×5 horde for a Haunter and then evolve it, right? So I think what makes the Iron Man account special is having to do different things for these same things on a main account and then meaningfully being different. I think that's what's so darn beautiful about this account. It's so special. So that is all the rules that I wanted to cover. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. This is still an evolving game mode. This is still, like, I don't feel 100% set in stone on this, but I do feel about 95%, right? So we've come a long way. The Iron Man account's been in the game for about 1 year now. We're actually coming up on the 1 1-year anniversary as I'm recording this. Hopefully I get this out around the 1-year anniversary. So it only took me 1 year, guys, to make a video talking about the official Iron Man rules. Not bad, Patrouski. I know, I'm sorry, I have so much. I'm a very busy person, but you know what? I have a lot to yap and talk about when it comes to PokeMMO, so happy to be here. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you guys. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it was entertaining or fun in the background. Like the video if you enjoyed it. If it was helpful to you, like it, subscribe, follow me on Twitch for streams. Discord is down below, and if you want to go above and beyond in support, if my content has inspired you enough, helped your journey, or just been a positive asset to your daily life, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo are actually the 2 best ways to support if you can afford it and if I've earned it from you. Those things are very, very important to me. Have a great day, though. I will see you guys later. And if you're playing an Iron Man account, good luck. If you're playing a main account, good luck. And if you're thinking about starting an Iron Man account, maybe do it, man. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it really revolutionized PokeMMO and really brought back to life a part of the game that I really missed. And it's a beautiful thing. So check it out. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.